Okay, in today's video, I just quickly want to go over the most predictable way to get new and recurring coaching clients, especially in 2025. It's no secret that the belt is tightening. A lot of coaches are starting to feel the trust recession really kick in. A lot of people are starting to become a little bit more jaded, a little bit more sophisticated, enough to the point where the old way of doing things just is not enough. So before I get into that, why should you even listen to me in the first place? Well, I've been pulling the marketing strings behind some of the biggest names in the coaching consulting industry for the last 3 years. People like Bastian Slot, Brian Page, and then Felix Bren. He's a options trader coach. As you can see, some of the wins that we've had with them, up to $200,000 months with them, record calls, and let me just zoom in. There we go. So yeah, record financial months, record amount of calls, all that sort of good stuff. But the thing I really want to focus in on, because this is what's going to be relevant, is with Felix, we ran this specific process that I'm about to go over. And I just want to show this because this is going to be super important later on. But even you can see here, $70,000 in 48 hours. But 3,500 signups for a masterclass, and then 200 calls that were booked, but the system broke. So what is this old way that's not really working anymore, especially with the trust recession going on? Well, it's this. This is the classic direct response way of building and scaling coaching businesses, where cold lead comes in, they run through an ad or a funnel, then they get warmed up to a call and then turn into a client. If not, then they at least go through 7 hours of content. This has been beat down for years now, but the problem is this no longer is working. Cold leads are now no longer actually opting into ads and funnels because, again, they're too sophisticated, they're too jaded. It no longer takes 7 hours of content. It now might take 14, 20, 24, even longer for them to actually warm up and want to buy. And the big problem here is that the ads and the funnels are the sole reason for any growth to happen, which is a big problem. This is why coaches are so aggressive in terms of how they scale. And this is the problem, is that they think that they have to go with volume. So they'll constantly test ads, they'll constantly do iterations of their funnel, or they'll just spend more to try and push more people through their ads and funnels. But again, that doesn't always work out. So how do you actually go about creating consistency and predictability where you're not starting each month at zero and you're just shooting for volume, which means you have to have larger teams, more offers, and just a larger infrastructure going on, where it just creates more stress and burnout? But how do you actually scale things back and create sustainable growth in a way where you can just have a lean team, you actually get to work with clients that you want to work with, and your marketing's actually profitable? So the way we did this with Felix, one of our old clients, is the recurring clients funnel. So it starts off with creating affinity ads. The point with these ads is you're not trying to sell people on your offer. You've probably seen these ads that make this crazy claim about how much money you can make or how many calls you can get booked, and then they make this crazy guarantee that basically puts the person providing the service at risk, and eliminates all the risk. Again, that's a problem. That's not what you want to do. This is the reason why people are becoming too sophisticated, too jaded. It's that these crazy claims and crazy promises are not actually building any trust. Also, the FTC is a real thing, so if you can't actually back up these claims, then you as the business owner, you're kind of screwed. Not to mention the quality of leads and the quality of clients that you get from these desperate ads, these, basically prostitution ads, is they're too low. They actually, that all they care about is the result. All they care about is you saving their lives, and that's not the kind of person you want to attract. The other type is here, you attract them with dog whistle content. Again, you auto disqualify people that are coming in so that you're only speaking to the exact target market you want to be speaking to and that you want to be working with. After that, you basically invite them into something that can build trust. Any sort of demonstration asset. The one that we've been using was a webinar. I'm going to explain what these moats are in a second, so just bear with me. But with this webinar, then you can just start creating trust. You can start telling your story. You can start pre-selling people on who you are and what you do and the offers that you have. The goal here is, though, you're, again, not selling them directly into your high ticket offer, because you're selling them into a low ticket course, which then, again, gets them pre-sold. The whole point here is it creates retention inside of your business. Instead of just pouring all your time and energy into trying to get people on the front end to then convert on the high ticket, you're actually shifting them away and diversifying your revenue streams, but also lengthening the sales process. There's a really well-known coach in our industry right now that by design has a 7 to 9 month sales process. It's very hard to compete for a lot of coaches with that. So how do you stretch out the sales process but then still create sustainable scale and consistent scale? This way. You pre-sell people on yourself and your offers. You push them into a low ticket course where they can start seeing results. Best part is you liquidate your ad spend. You liquidate all of the marketing costs that lead up to this point. And then they jump into a conversation. You have setters inside of the course that go in, have a conversation, and the whole goal then is to push them onto a call. And then if they get on a call, if they don't close, then they're a hot lead. And again, I'll explain the moats in a second. But if they close, then they become a high ticket client. And the best part here is with the high ticket offer, you have to tack on an MR onto it. And it's not the classic thing where it's like a 90-day program and then you slap on a recurring back end that nobody actually wants to pay for because they're not getting any value. You have to bake in extra value that makes it make sense. But I'm not going to go into detail on this. The best part about these clients is that they then can refer a new business to you or turn into case studies that then get used in affinity ads and start the whole process over again. Now, what are these moats? I'm obsessed with coming into coaching businesses and finding ways to create these pockets of leads that these business owners can tap into every single time. My goal is to, again, create sustainability and to create longevity inside of these businesses. So instead of them, again, dumping all this money into ads, desperately trying to get people in through the front door, focusing on volume so that they can beat the last month, my goal is to create systems where every single month they walk into the month knowing they have sales waiting for them. It's not the fact that you're starting at zero every single month. You're starting every month at the same point you just ended. So for example, if you're running 100K a month, then you're starting the new month with 100K already projected, like guaranteed coming from the current clients you already have. That comes from the monthly recurring revenue. But then also for new leads, for new clients, you want to again have guaranteed clients and leads that are waiting for you instead of just kind of hoping and guessing that more people come through. So with these moats, the literal definition of it is a deep, wide ditch surrounding a castle, fort, or town, typically filled with water and intended as a defense against attack. Instead of creating defense against attack, we create defense against the trust recession, defense against anything coming after your business, defense against competition, defense against time in general. Because again, you create businesses for them to survive long term. You don't create them so that you get rich in a couple years and then you disappear. The idea here is that you stay relevant years down the line instead of trying to trend hop and stay relevant. So with these moats, the best part is once people sign up for your webinar, that's a moat right there. And the way we tap into these moats is we use email for ourselves. So the people that signed up to the webinar that maybe have joined or haven't bought the low ticket course, you can email them. You can talk to them. You can send setters over there and then get them converting to the next step. The other moat that you create is through the low ticket course. So everyone that's in your low ticket course, they are potential buyers. Again, you can have a setter in there. You can send emails to them that start pushing them through the next step. And then moat number 3 is anyone that hasn't closed into the high ticket program. Again, this is where you nurture them and push them to the high ticket program. And even those that have closed, if you have other products or upsells or a new level, like a mastermind level that you want to sell them into, that's the 4th moat. These moats are basically, again, pre-sold leads that are ready for the next step, that are warm. So right here, as you can see, moat 1, the ones that watch the webinar, they're the coldest, but they're still quite warm. They're not completely ice cold because they have gone through a sales process already. They already know who you are. They know your offers, and they've built trust with you. The whole goal here is to build trust. So they're the coldest, but they're still more likely to buy rather than pushing someone from an ad directly to a high ticket sale. Then mode 2, mode 3, and mode 4, they get hotter and hotter as they progress on. So to give you a different visual of this is just picture this as the funnel. You drive people through affinity ads or dog whistle content. Then you have a trust building invitation. So you invite them into some kind of webinar, and it's a free webinar. You're giving them free value. On that webinar, then you narrow them in and then you sell them into a low ticket course. Again, this could be like $197, $397, $997. It does not matter. It's a small commitment for them to get started to, again, see results in advance and to build trust with you. And now you have their information to continue to sell them. And again, from the webinar, you create a moat. Whether they bought or not, or whether they attended or not, you now have their information so you can market to them. From that moat, you can push them into the low ticket course. So that's one avenue of sales right there. From low ticket course, you create another moat because again, these people have now bought, but they still have to buy the high ticket program. They still need to continue to ascend. So from there, you create a second moat. So this is a second avenue of sales that you can tap into every single month. From there, you push them into some kind of, whether it's a DM conversation or a call, and again, you create a new moat, whether they bought or not, or typically mode 3 would be for those that actually haven't bought. So if they haven't closed, again, now they're even hotter. They're on the brink of buying. They might just need more time, or they might just not be ready right now. So you stay in touch with them. You keep following up with them. And then even when they do buy, you create the fourth mode. Now these are the hottest people because they're the highest level of customers. And the best part is throughout the entire funnel, throughout this entire thing, the LTV increases. So if someone joins, they pay for the low ticket course, and then they buy the high ticket course, and best case scenario, if they ascend to some kind of mastermind or buy other products, you're now extracting more out of one client rather than, again, pushing volume through your funnel, trying to get as much as you can. So this is how you create leverage. This is how you create predictability, consistency inside of your business. And the best part is you're not losing any leads through slippage. Like no stone gets left unturned, basically. If people opt out, cool, they weren't ready, they weren't the right fit anyways. But if people stay, that is your opportunity to keep talking to them, to keep nurturing them, and then over time, you're going to be able to close them in. Again, I referenced a coach that by design has a sales process of 7 to 9 months. This is how you keep up with it, and this is how you start effectively just beat out 80% of the coaches that are just focused on volume because you're creating longevity, you're creating sustainability, and you're using leverage to actually grow instead of force. So use this for yourself. If you want more information on this, I'm going to leave resources in the description where you can basically get a guide on how to extract more revenue from your business already. But use this funnel. This is going to be the most important part about just beating the trust recession. Most coaches, again, are so focused on instant gratification that they're just forcing and pushing volume down through their funnels rather than taking the time to actually create multiple moats of pre-sold clients that you can tap into. So again, you're not walking into every single month at zero. You're walking into a new month with 4 different avenues of sales that you can tap into. So you have guaranteed clients basically for the month ahead rather than just starting at zero, hoping that your ads do the job to bring new people in or hoping that your social media content does the job to bring new people in. So if you have any questions, DM me on Instagram. Like I said, everything is going to be down in the description, and I'll chat to you guys later.